that is what democracy is all about, then I repeat, greetings, lovely people. You see, Ibrahim TAROE, the leader of Burkina Faso, I've been telling you that he is well educated and then he understood the situation on ground. The man knows what he's doing. He's not moving like a blind man. When we are telling you about the attitude of the Western media, some people think we don't have anything to do. Some people think we just want to be in the media. When we say unity of Africa, some people think it is not necessary. Listen to what he said. You see, the enemy have used language to put barrier between us. So when the leader of Burkina Faso is saying something sensible out there, the people in Ghana cannot understand. The people in Nigeria cannot understand because he's speaking French. This is the language barrier so that we cannot communicate. I will interpret everything here. He gave a wonderful speech to educate the youth about this Western media, how they operate, the history we should learn, the research we should do, educating the youth about this so-called democracy that they brought to us. He broke everything down to the understanding. This guy is a leader. After watching the video, please like the video and share the video. Let's get right into it. But look at their democracy. We have witnessed situations where their people have been prevented from gathering. He's talking about protest. We have witnessed incidents where the military have been deployed against the people to stop them from protesting. We have witnessed incidents where people are forcefully stopped from exercising their right. We have witnessed Westings where people were killed because they are demonstrating peacefully. But these are the people they call Democrats, and they call us dictators or putschistes. If that is what democracy is all about, then I repeat, we don't need that kind of democracy here. And often the incompetent leaders, you don't see them trying to find the meaning of this word democracy in reality. They just hang themselves around the definition that the imperialists have given them. They themselves have not made any research. And then from what the imperialists have given them, they also started talking about democracy, without really knowing the foundation of this democracy, that is incompetence. As a leader, you must try to find out the meaning, to have the knowledge of what is given to you. Look at the world today and you understand that we need to redefine the democracy as we want it in Africa. The incompetent leaders use freedom as a cover-up. But note one thing, there is no individual freedom that exists, and that is a fact. Do you really think everyone is free to do whatever they want to do? Freedom is collective. As long as we live in one society with rules, it means freedom is collective effort. Because if you don't follow the rules, you can't live peacefully in society. If you are free to speak as you wish, then it means the other person also have the right to reply you as he wants. If that happens, then we all end up in disorderliness. If you are free to drive in the street and pass over the traffic light without respecting the red light because you are free to do so, it means the other person is also free to pass and hit you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can see that this idea of everyone is free and have the right to do whatever they want, once this take over, we all live in a society of disorderliness. This is why there are rules in society, and this rule must be respected by everyone. And that is the collective freedom we are talking about. So some people have the right to exercise the freedom to talk to any individual because they are free to talk, but not taking into account or considering the freedom of others. And I think that is also part of incompetence,
Ibrahim
because they do not
Traore
seek to
ɛyɛ
understand this
Burkina
freedom.
Faso
So in
kandini
exercising their
a
rights that
wasua
we have
adeɛ
given
yie
to
na
them,
ɔte
they do
nneɛma a
everything for
ɛrekɔ
themselves
so
and say
ɛwɔ
everything,
Africa no
neglecting the right of
ɛho
others.
nti no
That
ɔnam
is
sɛ
not
obi
right.
a ɔyɛ
Freedom or
anifirani
liberty
na
is
ɔte
collective.
Western
Before
media
taking any
no
act, you
ɔmo
must think
kwan
about
a
others.
ɔmo de
You can't just do
Africa
it because
ɛnam
you
so
have the right to do
nti
it.
no ɔka
We
kyerɛ
must
ɔmo
also step
sɛ
on the right of others in exercising our right. So it means in everything we do, we must have some consideration for one another. And once we have it, that means individual freedom or liberty does not exist. Freedom is collective, and we must maintain this culture of collective freedom. So let us seek for knowledge. Let's read. Let's question history. Make sure you don't read history written in their favor. Research knowledge through different or diverse sources, and you will understand historically those who fought for Africa, why they fought for Africa, and how we must also continue the fight and the struggle of our forefathers. And I will not finish my speech without making one more important point, and that is the communication component, which is the narrative. Guys, pay attention to this side. It's going to expose the Western media. Because as I said, narrative is a fatal weapon of the imperialists. And to you, the young people, you must do everything to distinguish the truth narrative from the false narrative. We will continue to dismantle the lies of the imperialist media. This imperialist media always try to create problems in Africa through false narrative. Guys, he's referring to the Western media. Because these media houses, through their narrative, can make you a leader tomorrow. Through their narrative again, they can take you down as a leader if you go against them. Through their narrative, they will make you poor and enslave you tomorrow. So you must be very careful of these media houses. Recently, I was following one show, and unfortunately, one Burkinabe young journalist made a sentence which left me a little bit perplexed. The show was about the leader of North Korea. And this journalist said the leader of North Korea is starving the people of North Korea. The question is, did this journalist try to go to North Korea to find out and investigate if truly the people in North Korea are starving? No. He said that just because the imperialist media sold out North Korea in a negative way to the world. As a matter of fact, North Korea is much more developed than many of these European countries. And because this media tell us that the leader of North Korea is a dictator, is this and that, people are starving, people are poor, and they have nothing in there, we Africans, we believe it here. Meanwhile, North Korea have nuclear power. How do they do it since the people are starving and they have nothing in there, as the imperialist media is saying? Let's be very careful about communication. Do not blindly follow this lying media that seek to only divide Africa through false narrative. This media only fight for the interests of their people, and the interest of their people is to divide Africa. So to the youth of Burkina and the whole of Africa, we must unite. It is necessary. We must come together. We must reject cowardice. We must reject incompetence. We must reject traitors and all backbackers in our society. I advise you to go back, do research, and read more to get to work so that the self-sufficient Africa that we want can be achieved. And we must also understand that there is no peace and security without development. Both must pair together. If there is no development, there will be no security, because if there is no development, the youth will find themselves screwed up and they will flame up and there will be no security. If there is no security, there is no development. So the two must move together. We need to fight to develop. As continent, let's produce our raw materials on our own side to make it affordable for our population. And we can also export things out there and not only to import. Homeland or death, we will win. Lovely people, if you are a true African and you care for this continent and you love what is going on in the Sahel, what this guy is doing, like this video, subscribe or follow the page and share this video to the masses out there. I will repeat again, this man understood the situation on ground, so he knows what he's doing. He's not moving like a blind man. For a long time, in a century after the manner of Gaddafi, this is the only leader in this 21st century that is able to expose the Western media and their activity to this high level, to educate the youth about the enemy to this high level. Respect.